Hello and welcome to Sunday Scripture with me, Brilliant Pongo. Thank you for joining me today, and today I would like to share a very short scripture. And as I always say, I'm not your typical preacher, but I would like to delve into scripture and explain what this scripture means to me and how this has been put into my heart and how God has wanted me to explain this scripture to you. So today's scripture is not a very simple scripture for many, but I'll try the best I can to show you by use of examples, and also link some teachings that I've received from other men of God to explain and expound on this scripture. So as I delve into this scripture, allow me to show you one or two things and share my understanding of this particular scripture. Our particular scripture, or the Sunday scripture for this week, comes from Galatians Chapter 1 verse 10, and it reads, "For do I now persuade men or God? Or do I seek to please men? For if I yet please men, I should not be the servant of Christ." Now, these are words of Paul, and these words have caused me to reflect and to think deeply about my own role as a servant of God. Who do I seek to please? Do I seek the approval of men? Do I seek acceptance of men? Or do I seek God's approval and God's acceptance? So my topic today is acceptance and approval addiction. These things have affected a lot of Christians to a point that the addiction has inhibited their ability to serve God. So a lot of times we seek to please men and we seek the approval of men. It is very easy not to see that this is what we're doing. But whenever it is that you do something and you feel that hunger, that urge, that need to be given a pat on the back, to be given a round of applause, to be recognized, you are suffering from approval and acceptance addiction. It is true that we do these things as servants of God to glorify the name of God. But any time that I stop to say, how come I wasn't recognized? How come I wasn't given the attention, or I wasn't asked to stand up, and I wasn't recognized, and I wasn't honored for what I did? That in itself is seeking acceptance and approval of men. Because what it means is simply that desire to be applauded, that desire to be recognized, even when we are doing the work of God. So a lot of times people will say, oh, but you know what, we need to be honored for what we have done. As long as the glory is given to God, I personally would not be stopping anybody to say, how come you did not recognize me? Now, this is how this approval addiction impedes or impacts on your ability to serve God. Now, this is how it works. They say thirsty people need water, hungry people seek food, cold people seek warmth, and rejected people seek approval and acceptance. So that addiction to approval and acceptance comes because somewhere along the line in your life, somewhere at some point, you felt rejected and you felt that you needed people to approve of what you were doing. You needed people to accept you. And so that is where it began. I'm not going to go too much into this because I've written extensively on this, and you could visit our website to read the full article on this particular topic, where I talk about this acceptance and approval addiction and how this whole scripture that we have for this Sunday, our Sunday scripture, is linked to this. Very powerful words coming from Paul. So please do visit us on our website. It is www.ocradio.com. That's where you could find the full article. And to those that have already been following us for the past 3 or 4 Sunday scripture sessions that we've had, thank you very much for that. And for those that have been sending questions and requests for particular scriptures to be read, we are going to be following up on that, and we will soon be introducing a Q&A session at some point that we will then need to answer the questions that have been sent to us. So if you do have a question, don't hesitate to send your questions to the editor at ocradio.co.za. Thank you very much for joining us this Sunday. I hope that I'll meet you again next Sunday for more from myself, Brilliant Pongo, on Sunday Scripture. This is my time to just go now. Thank you very much. I've run out of time, but not out of word. See you next week.